Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I hope everyone is having an incredible day. And today was a really good Thursday for me, but we got to talk about this Undertaker situation. Now, like, I made a there's been a lot of new information coming out. Of course, in case you guys don't know, Undertaker went to his podcast, went to Joe Rogan's podcast. He did a podcast tonight with Joe Rogan, which Joe Rogan, I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. Like, I don't hate the guy, like nothing against him, but I'm just not a big fan of his podcast. But apparently what the Undertaker said like kind of triggered some people a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, there's like one thing, nothing too crazy. Well, here's what the Undertaker had to say, and the tweet that is really in question. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick if I can find it. There we go. Okay, here's what it has to say, and I quote: "As in the era of guys too, those were men. You go into a dressing room nowadays is a lot different. I remember walking into my first real dressing room and all I saw was some crusty effing men. Half of them had guns and knives in their bags. Shit got handled back then. Now you walk in, there's guys playing video games and effing making sure they look pretty. It's evolution, I guess. I don't know what it is, but I just like those eras, man. I like it where men were men." Now, like in a way, I get where he's coming from. I really get where he's coming from. Like people like in this generation nowadays are soft. Like there's no doubt about it. Like we got people like Karens and SJWs like in this generation that just complain for no reason. And we do have a fair share of that in the wrestling community. There's people who just complain just to complain and that's it. And there, don't get me wrong, there are some wrestlers as well who there's some wrestlers in the wrestling business right now who are soft. Most recently, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is a perfect example of someone being soft. Seth Rollins, you can argue, is another one. Don't get me wrong. The Undertaker is right in a way. He's right in a way. Like people in the wrestling business and people in general, this generation is like I won't say is exactly soft. There are parts of our generation that are soft, but we're not as this generation is not as soft as previous generations perceive us to be. Like you can argue that previous generations they had it tougher. Okay, they have it tougher. Like don't get me wrong. Like this generation would never be the previous generations. The previous generations were way tougher for people. Okay, we have it easy now. Hell, we even got jobs. We live in a world where YouTubers, being a YouTuber is a job. Okay, we have it kind of easy right now. Okay, so I kind of get where the Undertaker is coming from. Okay, and Taker, in a way, feels that, like many wrestlers don't pay their dues that much in wrestling. And like, yeah, I can kind of see that. a couple wrestlers who don't care about the art of wrestling that much and just do it for the money. And like, but there's some people in the wrestling business who takes wrestling seriously and who takes criticism seriously. And those are the wrestlers I respect. People like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle's another one. Walter, freaking Walter is one of the best in the world right now because he cares about the art of wrestling. So, but there's one part that kind of rubs like there's one part of this thing that the Undertaker said that kind of rubs people the wrong way. And I'm not gonna lie, kind of rubs me the wrong way as well. And it's this. Half of them had guns and knives in their bags. Shit got handled back then. Now you walk in, there's guys playing video games and making sure they look pretty. Okay. Like like okay. Back in the day, I'm sure the Undertaker and many of the wrestlers didn't have time playing video games and doing fun stuff in the meantime. Because here's the thing. Back in the day, like with wrestlers, they have it tough. Okay, well, I don't know. This is kind of hard to explain. He says that there's he kind of has a Taker has a problem with people playing video games and superstars playing video games are not exactly men, which I think is a little ridiculous because you can be a video gamer and also be tough. You know how many people in the military play video games? You know how many people in football play video games? You know how many martial artists play video games? Don't get me wrong, if you play too much video games, it could be really bad for you. It could really be bad for you. But most of the time people just play video games just for fun. Okay? Yeah. People didn't experience what you experienced back in the day. That doesn't make them less man. Okay, I just don't agree with this person didn't go through the tough times like me being beat up, or they didn't do that much hard work and stuff like that, and because of the result that they're not men, they're not tough enough. Come on. Don't get me wrong, our generation is not like previous generation. Our generation, for the people that are watching this video, you understand that this generation, we have it much easier. But we have our fair share of problems as well. Okay, every generation has his fair share of problems. And I bet you when the next generation comes around and they have it even easier than us right now, then we're going to just as complain as well. Okay? But we're not going to belittle them and say that they're not men or say that they're not tough or anything. I'm sure they're going to have people in the next generation are just going to have as much trouble as we have right now. This is a little bit of a complicated situation. The Undertaker's not wrong in this situation, and I see that a lot of people on social media are giving the Undertaker shit for this. First of all, it doesn't really matter. He didn't say anything bad directly. Okay? He didn't say oh, these wrestlers these wrestlers are just terrible. These wrestlers just suck and stuff like he didn't say that. Like he was just saying his opinion. Do I agree with his opinion? Like I agree with him in a way. I feel like I just wish the Undertaker just worded it differently. That's all. But some people are literally canceling him, and that's literally what the Undertaker is conveying. Okay, about people being soft. Okay, some people online are literally butthurt because the Undertaker said this. Grow up. Okay? Grow up. This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal. Mark Calloway shouldn't get canceled over this. Okay? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Okay? Do I agree with his point of view? Not really. But I can kind of get where he's coming from. Like he's not exactly wrong that we're we're not exactly like tough, and like some people can be really soft in our generation. No doubt about it. We got some soft people in our generation. Like I said, Karens, SJWs, hell, some feminists. Like even people in the wrestling community, okay? We got some soft people. But I just hate the fact that people in previous generations just generalized everyone as everyone being soft because a certain amount of people are soft. No. Just I don't agree with that mindset. Okay? Just stop making a like you guys know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's 11 o'clock. I'm tired. I just wanted to put this out there because I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. I want to go to bed, but this really needed to be addressed. This really needed to be addressed. Like, is it okay to agree to disagree? Yeah. Like I said, in my opinion, this is my take. The Undertaker is not wrong of this generation not being as tough as hardworking as the last generation, and there are certain people in our generation that are soft. Okay, but I just wish he worded it just a little bit differently. But that's my take on it. Taker shouldn't get canceled because of this. Mark Calloway shouldn't get canceled because of his point of view. Okay, it's okay to agree to disagree. Like, I'm not going to hate The Undertaker because I don't agree with his point of view. Okay, I understand where he's coming from. Like, I just wish he worded it differently. But I'm not going to hate The Undertaker. Like, it's because of The Undertaker that I even became a wrestling fan in the first place. And some people are just blowing it way out of proportion. Just way out of proportion. Okay, this is not a big deal. It's okay to agree to disagree. Okay, it's okay to agree to disagree. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. And before I end this video, Austin Creed, Xavier Woods, of course, made a statement on The Undertaker's statement, and here's what he has to say. I wouldn't be the person that I am without the guidance and lessons of a few key people from the previous generation of wrestling. They taught me about the business to save my money, and that having video games in the locker room is healthier than having redacted. Thank you guys. And like I can I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, honestly, I don't know what to say about Creed's situation. Like, he didn't say anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. But obviously, like, Xavier was kind of disagree with the video game section of Undertaker's statement, which I also get as well, because because I'm just not a fan of people saying that just because you're a gamer that you're not as hardworking, that you're not as tough as many people say you are. And now I know that's not everyone, but there's a good amount of people out there that say that just because you're a video gamer that you're not tough, you're not hardworking, you're gonna end up being a loser, you're gonna end up being a bum. And again, if you play too much video games, then yeah, I can see that. But most people play video games for fun. What's wrong with playing a couple of hours of video games before a show or stuff like that? Okay, like I can understand where Xavier Woods is coming from. Okay, but that's all I gotta say on that. All the hate, all the cancellation that some people are giving Mark Calloway is ridiculous. Okay, do I agree? Again, my take is that I understand what he's talking about, and I agree with him in a way. I just think in my opinion, I feel like he should have worded it differently. But that's my take. That's just my opinion. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. Undertaker, Mark Calloway shouldn't get this hate just because he has a different point of view. Okay? It's okay to agree to disagree. Okay? Stop canceling Mark Calloway for having a different point of view. Okay? Honestly, grow up. For all the people that are canceling Mark Calloway, grow the fuck up. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you guys agree with what The Undertaker had to say? Do you guys disagree? Is there I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation. But that's all I got to say on that. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. If you guys like the content that I make in this video, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on the situation. So I hope everyone has a nice night. And it's 12 o'clock where I am right now. So technically, good morning. Good morning. But that's all I gotta say on that. Till next time, this is Gabriel, and I will see you next time in the Pop Culture Asylum. Good night, everyone.